Welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mysticraven. Alright, I'm not doing a build video today. I will be picking up the dailies. I'm working on finalizing this tune before it's post, so I'm going to do something a little different, and it's just random gameplay as I'm doing some commentary. Typically, I do commentary when I'm PvPing and stuff like that, but I really wanted to pose a question today as I'm trying to get my Undaunted on this tune, and unfortunately it's DPS. So, we know how that goes for the Q system. But, regardless, I posed a really interesting question today for all the people on YouTube and Twitch. My question for viewers is, are they content creators? Or are they content copiers? It's kind of interesting because when I take a look at a lot of players' channels, I don't see anything really original. Now, I am going to be name dropping on here. And I'm going to give you guys kind of my perspective of like players who really do create the content, whether I like them or not. So I'm going to stay unbiased on this and just give you guys the heads up. We all know Outcast is pretty much one of the main dudes to create content as far as like walkthroughs, things like that. And what he offers the community is really good. Now, me and him has got like some personal issues, especially because but he still creates original content, right? That a lot of players don't get to touch or are touching up on. Now, another player that I've actually reconciled with, and I do owe it an apology to on some of our past beef, though he is a very good content creator, is Gilliam the Rogue. Gilliam the Rogue has, provided players with, things to help them, right? But even though I may or may not disagree with him, he still provides original content. Deltia is another player that you want to watch because he interacts with his audience. He's very engaging. I think I got them all. But that is another content creator we're very familiar with. Now, Kev DeWitt, what I love about Kev DeWitt, now let's talk about Kev DeWitt. Kev DeWitt is probably one of the best content creators as far as, comic relief that this community has. And I hope he continues to do such in the future. Because every time I watch his videos, they're really good. They're really good. Now, ICP, okay. 1 second here. I just got to grab this. I'm going to be grabbing Sky Shards. I'm going to be doing all sorts of stuff. Spindle Clutch 2. Okay. And City of Ash 2. There's that one. We'll find out. The City of Ash 1. Alright. So, specifics. Like I said, I need a lot on this tune done. So, we're just going to queue them up. And then I'll do normal ICP just because I think I still need the skill point on this tune from whatever. But here's some, like, my favorite content creator. Maybe I'm a little biased. Because, like I said, he was there with me in the mix in the beginning, is Zionode. Zionode is definitely one of my personal favorite content creators when it comes to PvE. He makes builds that are easily accessible. He follows, to get players in how to achieve, no matter what your skill level is. That's what I like about Zionode. It goes over like little things like diminishing returns, things like that. He still gets the technical application, but accessibility. Okay, and that's what I try to aim for. Another content creator I really love with commentary is, of course, Despotic. Despotic is really good with, PvP commentary and, you know, going over things and, you know, the philosophical questions of what is and what isn't in a game. And I really like watching that approach because it's different, it's unique, right? My favorite PvP content creator to watch is, of course, Fang Rush. Fang Rush is probably, and I'm glad he's back. I hope that man doesn't go anywhere. It's amazing to see him again. So, yeah, I'm pumped up about that. But when, like I said, so there, and of course, Sherman's gaming. Let's talk about Sherman. Sherman's really a great guy, easy to get along with. He provides very unique, very viable builds. And that's another approach to this game that we have to take a look at, right? You know, the different aspects of being able to play the game. And Sherman does that. And I really enjoy watching that content as well. But when I watch a lot of other content creators, it's just copy and paste, right? They just pick up what they watch other YouTubers do, come out with the exact build, the same rotation, and talk about the same shit that the other content creators have covered. And I'm like, okay, what are you providing? Now to their viewers, I really hope like they find something unique in those players, because I'm encouraging. I think there's, you know, always something for somebody in a content creator, whether it be the way they speak, whatever. But what I want to see when I'm like browsing around is what I don't already know, or what can I learn, right? These are the things that I kind of want to go over. It's not to say, oh my God, your videos suck or anything. Let's get this straight. Whether I agree or disagree with anybody, I don't dislike any player's content, right? I just don't. I don't hit the thumbs down. I don't do that. That's just not me. Because the simple fact of it is, I think everybody can learn something from somebody. Now, I typically don't watch YouTubers, right? I'm an old school MMOer. I like to try to figure out things for myself. If I do watch content creators, you know, I like to be supportive. Like, I used to like to go to Vanguard Gaming. Unfortunately, he's recently left, but Vanguard Gaming is a person I used to like to watch from time to time, because, you know, he's live, you know, and there's a lot of things that I don't like clippers. Like, even though I get along with a lot of clip players, and what I mean by clippers, like the players who will spend days on days trying to get that nice 1vx and whatever, and then they get that perfect footage, and then they clip it, cut it, and because they don't like to stream, because, you know, that would just be bad, and then they get, you know, that perfect scenario and they just throw it out there. For me, I'm not that type of player. I'd rather watch live viewers. I want uncut, unedited. I want raw. And I think that's kind of why I'm partial to watching Fang Rush in PvP, because it's real. It's just there. He streams all that shit. So to me, if that's the way I want it, that's what I want to watch. I want to watch real players. Lobo, El Lobo, definitely another player I like watching. I like to watch El Lobo. It's real. He has a couple clip videos, but he streams too. And that's another thing. Jules, like to watch Jules. Jules, to me, she, you know, definitely makes her builds live. She goes in, tests them live, and that's something that I appreciate from another content creator as well. Like I said, I want to encourage players to be content creators, right? I feel there's a lot of things going on in the community. You don't always have to agree or disagree, and people want to go ahead and whatever for spite and have you. It doesn't make no fucking sense to me sometimes, some of the drama, and I get caught up in it. I'm not gonna lie, and it's entertaining to say the least. But the one thing that I realized, though, isn't there a hole? I think there was a hole here. Trying to avoid these and just kind of get around to the sky shard and drop the aggro. Should put my heal on. Come to daddy. Okay, we're going to switch out something really quick. Just so I can get around a little bit faster. I'm doing delves and shit. Anyway, so like I said, you guys you guys decide. When you watch a content creator, I'm not saying unsubscribe to the people. Okay, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make suggestions to make their content a little bit more appealing. I personally won't do it because everybody knows who I am, and if I say something, I'm a fucking troll. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. But unfortunately, like, I feel like I really hope I get a kill. I really hope that players start challenging themselves, you know? You know, especially with their builds. And that's the one thing it gets me with this game. There's so many builds, so many ways to play this game, and yet people will criticize if you do not follow it one specific way. As what? Another player decides what's best for them. That's kind of the oxymoron. That's kind of the thing that gets me. 1 second. Okay, we're good. That's kind of the major thing I don't get. Like, there's a player, right? You watch this content creator. He comes out with a build that works for him, right? All of a sudden, it's meta. But if another player does it different, it's wrong. You know, it's like, okay, that makes complete sense. Just fucking around. Okay, I'm trying to remember where this sky shard is. I think it's down this way, I want to say. I don't have any of my buffs or anything. Like I said, I'm just fucking off. I gotta make potions on this dude. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to name out specific players, but honestly, like when I watch them, I'm just like, whoa, man, really? Really? Out of all the stuff you could be covering. And there was one content creator that covers like PvE, I don't know, I think it's a girl, and she definitely goes over like all the new stuff, like as far as like the world content. I think I've watched it once or twice. It's not something I'm interested in, but a lot of people are, and that to me is like original as well. Like, I feel like there's so much content that could be covered, like players don't do it though. And it's like, wow, they just rather go ahead, like I said, copy, cut, copy, paste, and it's like, it's sad to me. I wonder if it's in this corner. I wish I was on my PC at the moment. PC is just so much easier. Ah ha 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 ha. Button. Away, you died. Up, get off. Come here. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna check out some comments, but seriously, man, I don't know if you guys bumped into it, but it's sad. It's just a sad thing. Like, a lot of people ask me, why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? And it's like, there's like so much content out there for players that are already doing that. It's like, to me, I'm like, why am I going to go ahead and do content that players are already doing and covering? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to go ahead and provide something that players are already doing, right? That's just not my gimmick. Like, I feel like everybody needs to get their own little gimmick, right? It's like a comedian. Right? When you watch comedians, there's always something different that you like about a specific comedian, right? Their content and how they approach their material. In a game like this, I feel it's like the same way. You need to find your little gimmick. For me, it is, you know, providing for average players very viable builds that may or may not take them up to a certain point. Now, there are certain builds that I create that I can take all the way. There's certain builds that I keep only specific to vet, PvP content, so on and so forth. And that's what I like to do. That's just me, right? It's just the content I provide. And I realize, oh my gosh, there are players who don't have this and players who don't have that. And there's so many. And it's like, why isn't content being created for them? And what there is, that wasn't the question. It was like, oh my God, okay, they're just not really being, watched. Instead, players just want to go ahead and copy and then badmouth other players to do what? Get subs. And it's like, for me, I don't care. Like, I have, to me, the best community, in my opinion, of my subs, and I'm happy with that. Because we're a community. You guys are my community. You guys are why I come on here every day. So nothing changes that. Like yesterday, I got to go into Zai's channel. We're talking and we're bullshitting as he's streaming. And that's why, I like certain content creators I interact with. I really, really do. I feel like, some content creators are also more accessible than others. And I'm like, that makes a difference, man. It just does. How accessible are you to your audience? How are you trying to help them? Are you answering some questions to the best of your capability? I always tell people, if you please do not believe one content creator. And I think a lot of content creators are now starting to, say, we are going to try to help you to the best of our capability. But at the same time, you have to understand, we may not have the exact answer. Always test yourselves and refer back to like forums, because forums answer a lot of questions. You know how many players do not go to player forums? To me, it's nuts. So sad. Let's see, intermediate. Yeah, I'll leave it for somebody else. But yeah, guys, I feel like, once again, what do you guys think? Are you guys like, is there one content creator? No, you don't. Please don't answer. Is there one content creator when you go to, you just wish it would be like this? Well, in my opinion, that's what's the best aspect to all the different content creators. Because certain content creators cover this, and certain content creators cover that, and certain content. But all of a sudden, you have everybody just being like, oh, well, I'll just copy this build and exactly the same, and then we'll go over it and everything else. And I think I'm frozen. I think I'm getting Zost as we speak. No! ZeniMax! If this ends, I will be reopening this stream. Just because I need these friggin' dailies. Oh my God. I've gotten Zost. No. No! I just collected a way shrine. It's so sad. Let me see if I'm still alive. I am. I'm still alive. And I'm Zost. Okay. So I'm going to close out this stream. I'll reopen it, but I'll leave it off with this, guys. Are they content creators? Meaning they're bringing something new to the table. They're creating content that's unique and, like I said, original, and offering some diversity. Or are they just copiers, content copiers? Do they just copy some other player's content and then all of a sudden stick their name on it, and then all of a sudden, come to me. Yay. I'm like, okay. Questionable. But there it is. And here's the thing. Like, I would encourage those content copiers, try something different. If you're going to run at least the same setup you know, do something different. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. I can't watch them. I can't. As soon as I see them with the same configuration, I'm like, bleh, and then I just like shut it off. So it's like, okay, you want to be a content creator? Create something. That's my suggestion. You know, if you want to be a content creator, we all can be copiers. We all can pose to be like whatever. But unless you're actually, creating something with it, there's thousands of players out there doing it. So do something. I'm encouraging you. That, like I said, that badass Russian player using a stam warden and a vet, I'd never seen it. And he's only got 66 subs, that Yagar. And to me, that's a crime. I'm like, wow, that's unique. It's original. And it's amazing. So I encourage the viewers, look for something that you always like in a content creator. And content creators, do something to challenge yourself. No matter what your gimmick is and how you approach it, do something to actually provide some sort of content that's appealing to your target audience. And then, go ahead and challenge yourself. What you can do, what's working and what isn't. Are you covering, world content? Are you covering PvP? Are you covering PvE? How accessible is it to your audience? How are you making it more approachable if it's not accessible to your audience? These are all the questions you need to be asking as a content creator. So if you're getting into YouTube, or you have a YouTube, or you have a Twitch, or you're getting into Twitch, do something that separates you from the thousands of other players to be successful. And I promise you, no matter how many subs you get, you will eventually grow. And that's where you want to go. You want your own identity to remain intact. That's what's appealing. So I'm going to cut the stream. We'll reopen a new one here in a few minutes, and hopefully I get some dungeons, and we'll do some gameplay. And we'll see how it goes. All right, Mysticraven, ESO Daily. Once again and always, thank you, and have a nice day.